to the Homebrew Crew. I'm Tony, this is Sean, and as always we are here to help make your homebrew D&D campaigns the best that they can possibly be. Today we're going to be reaching into our bag of holding and pulling out some DM Wondrous items. These are little reviews that we do on tools that we have found to be helpful as DMs, and hopefully you'll find them helpful too. Today Sean and I are going to be going over the D&D Toolbox Chrome extension for D&D Beyond.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, some basic requirements to use this is you need to be on D&D Beyond.
True.
You don't necessarily have to have purchased or be on the subscription. This should work with anything that's available on the website. And then the other requirement is that you have to have Google Chrome. So make sure you do have that. The extension itself is free. You don't have to pay anything for it. You can locate this on the Google Chrome extension store, and you should be able to download it right on there, and it's a pretty quick and easy process.
Absolutely. Why don't we take a look at it?
Mm-hmm.
So, where you can find it directly on here, we'll have the link in the description and everything else so you can get it directly on there. All you have to have is Chrome or Chromebook, which I find very, very helpful for DMing as it is. It is made by this guy over here, Mouse0270, and you can download here directly, direct install or from GitHub. It's got all these great little features on it, and when you install it, it adds this extra little bar called Toolbox on your D&D Beyond page once you've installed it. When you click on it, it creates this nifty little thing on the side that goes over all of your nifty little tools. Some of the stuff, like adding notes, this is a basic note taker. You can add title and notes. We'll call this Hi Sean. There we go, and now your notes are there, and you can see them and save them, and you can type up all little things about characters and things that you saw. Mm-hmm. Pretty really neat. It's just a little bit better than the D&D Beyond note taking because you don't have to go out of the campaign. There's not one section for it. It's really, really neat.
Yeah, and it's not really necessarily a way to kind of set up your entire campaign, but you probably could set up a good amount of your sessions with this toolbox alone.
Yeah, it's nice. I sit there with it, and it's saved onto there, and it works really, really great. The next thing that's really cool, that's very, very helpful, is our initiative tracker. And not only does it, are you able to add players from your campaigns. You go to campaigns, and you select one of your campaigns out of the drop-down box, like the Lingering Isles, and we take Captain Brannigan Varlos here, and we click Add, and it throws him into our initiative round. And you can drag these ones up or down depending. You get all your players to tell you their initiative, and you put them in the order in which they are. And you can also add all of the enemies that you get and monsters from D&D Beyond, both official and homebrew monsters, which is really cool. And every time you load out of it, it'll load it back onto here. Loads up the toolbox, and there you go. And then you get it down over here. So let's say we want to add an aboleth. We've done that before. Fun. They are fun. So you get this nifty little button here, and you click it, and then it asks you for the encounter name. And these are all different encounter names that we've had previously with it. But we're going to call this Aboleth. It allows you to change their AC, their health, all these nifty little things. You can even have it be a rolled health instead of the fixed health, and then you click Add. Now, when it does that, it puts it down in your encounters, which will go down to Aboleth. And you can click Add to it, just like that, right? Boom. Now, the cool thing is that when you do add it to your encounter tracker, and you have it in your tracker, let's move it up here. Maybe it rolled a little bit better than issue there. When you click on it, you can highlight over this little mark, and it pulls up the entire the monster sheet for it, the entire spread.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I will say, just by using this, instead of having to finagle with flipping through pages of a player's handbook, or even trying to just search on Beyond, not to say that Beyond is not user-friendly, this is all here for you. Anything that you highlight, and then anything that you see in the red, I believe that also lets you kind of do the dice rolls for you and everything. So everything's here.
Let's say our Aboleth goes for that hit, and everything else with it. You'll be able to click directly on each of those little things here, like the +9 to hit, and it does a dice roller on there for you. Now, I am one for rolling my own dice, but if it is a very high attack and my players are waiting for me to come up with something, sometimes I'll do this because it's a lot quicker just to have the dice added.
Sometimes they're not going to stick around and let you roll the 12d10 that you want to roll for the damage, so having the program there is handy.
Have you been peeking at my notes for next week?
You know.
The other thing too is, let's say you've got players that seem to be using up a lot of actions all at once, right? And they're sitting there going, well, I could do this and I can do that, and you can actually view their character sheets too. You click View on D&D Beyond on the toolbox there, and it brings you directly to their character sheet in your campaign. So you can double check and see if they're telling the truth.
Yeah, and of course, we always like to give our players benefit of the doubts, but sometimes people might get confused here and there.
This is true.
So it's always good to have this available, especially if you're ever letting someone play like a homebrew class or a new class in general. It's always good to have this kind of access to make sure that everything in there is correct. And I mean, obviously, once you have their page up, you can help. Sometimes they'll ask, hey, what's my spell DC? Or you can help give them conditions or take damage.
Right, and here's the thing. I wish that this came standard with D&D Beyond. It is stuff that is add-in and is kind of neat and what have you. The encounters, the only thing I'll say about the encounters with it's kind of a drawback, is that you have to name your encounters if you want them separate to have their own initiative rolls. Otherwise, let's say you've got maybe 3 green grung in there. When you do the green grung on that, you can add that, but then it rolls their initiative as 1. You see, you've got 3 monsters in there as that, and you go from there. See, but normally when I do a group of monster, I end up using them as a mob anyway. The 3 of them attack on the same turn, so that kind of helps out a little bit. But
I was gonna say one thing that I do love that's kind of underrated is that it actually shows you, if you go up to the top, it shows you the amount of time that has passed in the rounds that you are on.
Right.
And this is so great because, like, if a spell, takes, a minute to cast, or if something lasts for a minute.
If it lasts for a minute, right.
Yeah.
And you just have to remember that after you're done with a round with it, you click Next, and it adds it up just like that.
I think that's a really fantastic tool just because normally people don't really keep track of that kind of stuff. And I mean, many times in an encounter, maybe things won't necessarily get to 10 rounds, but if it does, or if you just want to know how much longer this effect is going to be taking, you have that tool as well. I think it's a really nice thing to have.
Yeah, on round 10, we finally ended that one minute spell. Those
exactly.
10-minute spells take a lot of clicks, so that's... But other than that, I think this is a very, very well-rounded toolbox, and I'd like to thank the author for it as well. And, definitely check it out. You can find it actually on the D&D Beyond forums, and of course we'll have it in the description below. Just remember, anytime you add something to your campaign, it just has to work for you. And there are a lot of different tools at your disposal. Some people prefer pen and paper. Others prefer having it on a computer in front of them. I myself have a TV in my table that my players play on. It just makes it a lot easier for maps for me.
Yeah.
But that's just because I'm not really that great at drawing. But our opinions are not everybody's opinions. You kind of have to try it out and see if you like it yourself. We're just here to offer a suggestion or two.
Yeah. Everyone's definitely got their preferences. Obviously, programs like these might not work for everyone. Some people still need to kind of write things down because that's how they visualize. So don't feel like one way to run your campaign is going to be the best. Try different things out and see what works for you and see what works with your players.
Absolutely. And if there's a tool or something you'd like us to review, a world builder, another way to track initiative, or even just something neat that you wanted to share, definitely send us an email or a message on D&D Beyond. You can email us at DMBrewCrew@gmail.com. That is right there. And of course, you can always like and subscribe, which should be right there.
Follow us on our Facebook page as well.
Follow us on our Facebook page. There's another one with it. And just remember, the best campaigns are always home brewed. So until next time,
keep brewing.